ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sydney Sheraton Hotel for the presentation of the 7th Annual Ethnic Business Awards. Please welcome your host for this evening, Mary Kostakidis.
Good evening and a very warm welcome to you all tonight. Tonight marks 7 years since the National Australia Bank initiated this annual celebration of our multicultural society's business achievements, the Ethnic Business Awards. And that's 7 years of positive evolution in the character of Australia and Australians. Here in this country, we seem to have hit on a formula for something new in the design of a nation. And I think it goes something like this. You take an extreme environment ranging from breathtaking beauty to the horrors of bushfire, flood and drought. You blend it with layer upon layer of determined people who carry with them strong and diverse visions of the future. Allow it to rise with the leaven of tolerance that has grown from a history of rejecting the antiquated values of the born-to-rule class. The result is that we are a part of a unique, cohesive society which can celebrate cultural differences because its diverse citizens share certain fundamental values. The National pioneered the Ethnic Business Awards as a celebration of Australia's growing ethnic diversity. So the awards are not just about success in business, but are also a way of recognising the value of the cultural input that has taken Australia towards a new level of maturity, one that will ensure its success into the next century. I'm very happy once again to be playing an active part in this awards presentation, which is an indication of the exciting directions our future is taking. Each year, the interest in this program grows and grows. We have a rather large audience here tonight in Sydney's Sheraton Wentworth Hotel. But the audience receiving the SBS telecast spans stations throughout 18 countries and territories throughout Southeast Asia via Australia Television. And there's a radio simulcast to dozens of Australia-wide community radio stations receiving us on the national network of the Community Broadcasting Association of Australia. Welcome to you all and also to viewers of the Australis network. Now, a quick reminder of the way the awards are conducted. Any Australian citizen or permanent resident not born in Australia who owns and operates a business here is eligible to enter. Our finalists represent every state and territory. Business has been classified into 2 categories, manufacturing and non-manufacturing. There's also a special export award, recognising the value to Australia of our growing overseas markets. Entrants have sent us hundreds of fascinating and inspiring stories. Now, it's been the task of our judging panel to make some very tough choices. They are themselves, of course, distinguished business leaders. Here with us are co-founder of Westfield, chairman of the Terrace Tower Group of Companies, John Saunders. And multi-award-winning fashion designer with the business sense to gain international acclaim, Carla Zampatti. And unable to be with us tonight, though I'm sure they're here in spirit, Vice President of the Chinatown Chamber of Commerce and Honorary President of the Chinese Cultural Association of New South Wales, King Fong, and a very good friend and advocate for the media and education through his roles as Chairman of SBS and the TAFE Commission Board, Sir Nicholas Shahady. We certainly appreciate the time and thought that each of our judges has put into these very difficult decisions. Now, let me introduce to you the Chief General Manager of the National Australia Bank, Alan Diplock.
Thank you, Mary. It's great to be back on stage with you once again this year. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, since their inception in 1988, National Australia Bank has been associated with the Ethnic Business Awards, and is proud to sponsor them once again this year. Over those 7 years, there have been many worthy winners. They have been individuals and families from many different parts of the world, and they have owned and operated many different kinds of business. Yet these past winners have all had one thing in common. They, through their enterprise, have made an important contribution to the Australian economy. Moreover, many of our previous winners have started with little more than a good idea, a willingness to work hard, and the courage to have a go. They have often overcome serious obstacles, including problems of language, of unfamiliar social and business cultures, of meagre financial resources, and regrettably on occasions, of prejudice. These people are, I suggest, an example for all of us. I am sure the 1994 Ethnic Business Awards will produce further outstanding winners. The standard of entries this year has again been exceptionally high, and the National thanks all who have participated in the awards. In fact, given the quality of this year's finalists, it's perhaps a little sad that there can be only one winner in each category. I certainly don't envy our judges in making their choices. But of course, in an important sense, we are all winners this evening. In honouring this year's award winners, we are also recognising their valuable contribution to a more vibrant, diverse and innovative economy, something from which every Australian benefits, whatever their background. So on behalf of the National Australia Bank, I wish all of our finalists the best of luck.
Thank you, Alan Duclot. There's an electric atmosphere here in the Sheraton Wentworth Ballroom. All the finalists are here this year. Qantas has flown all our interstate winners into Sydney tonight, and I'd like to thank them for supporting tonight's celebration. But now it's about time we got on with the awards and eased the suspense. Our first category is non-manufacturing. These finalists make no products themselves, but they grow, design, import, export, transport, present or promote goods or provide services. The business tools Australia gained with our migrant population include a wide range of languages, customs and traditions, and a knowledge of many different international business protocols. Of course, all this skill can only amount to something with persistence, dedication and hard work. And that's a common thread running through all our stories tonight. Let's begin in Western Australia, where we'll learn that you don't have to run a multi-million-dollar business to win an award. Lee Kwong Vin's Girraween Multicultural Childcare Centre is relatively new and quite small, but it was built on foundations of vision and intelligence. Children from around 20 ethnic groups are educated here in language, culture and mathematics. Kwong's Vietnamese and Australian tertiary qualifications, the determination he gained as a penniless refugee, and his commitment to education first inspired him to publish a newspaper, and now he has established this unique centre.
I did research for 2 years before I opened the childcare center, and most of the ethnic parents in this area, they definitely need to invest their children's education before they go to mainstream classes. I think most of the parents, they need their children to learn English before they go to mainstream, and secondly about the schooling discipline, and thirdly about the self-esteem. The number of children enrolled here is 50 children, and we got about 20 children on waiting list at the moment. Just beside involved at the Child Care Center, I do publish the first Vietnamese language published in WA called Phổ Thông newspaper, and beside that I did publish 2 bilingual books for the children, especially about the Moon Festival. We need our children to maintain their culture and also to promote our culture into Australian multicultural society.
From Juraween Multicultural Childcare Centre, Lee Kwong Vin. Diversification, discounting, high volume sales and a strong dedicated family are the keys to a multi-million-dollar tobacconists network. Lebanese-born Fateh, or Fred as he's known, Shaheen, began retailing petrol. But the little extras he had to sell to maintain profits soon outstripped petrol sales. Today he has 53 Smoke Mart stores Australia-wide, is ranked 3rd on BRW's fastest growing companies list and continues phenomenal growth. Watch out New Zealand, Fred's sharp business eye is on you next.
I believe the hard work is the key, the determination is the key. When I arrived into Australia in 1984, all I had was my life saving. We did not want to risk that. I applied for at least 50 jobs. No one employed me because I was too old. I had to do something for my family. I bought that service station and we had to make sure that it works. And the only way we understand that a business is successful is by hard work. For us, we are brought up with a culture. If you don't work, you starve. No one cares. And we had to work. We in Smoke Mart do not promote or encourage people to smoke cigarettes. We simply sell them for as long as they are legally to sell. I think there is a big market worldwide for my business. The determination, the stubbornness, the hard work, the 3 together, I believe is the key. I was jokingly asked in London whether I thought I could or I would open a Smoke Mart in London. And I did not see that as a very remote. It's a dream now, but why not? Why not?
Smoke Mart's Fred Shaheen. Luckily for Dutch-born rose growers Con and Anna Boone, there was no TV in the early 1950s. His reward, he says, was a brood of 5 wonderful, hard-working sons in 6 years. 4 are now partners, and this strong family and the courage of Con and Anna to keep ploughing profits back into their very fertile business has made Boone's one of Australia's leading rose suppliers. Inspired by the notion of import replacement, they now sell nationally and export their blooms to Asian countries as well.
Australians actually, on a world scale, buy very few flowers. Mainly because we might be an outdoor people, but the more flats there come, the more flowers is bought. This market is unlimited. We grow roses in winter and nobody actually did that before I started. Then I was invited to Victoria Flower Growers, where the president of Interflora was guest speaker. And in question time I asked him what is the flower of the future, and he said long-stem red roses. This was built in 4 years. For the last 3 years we built 4.5 acres in one go. We have 10 acres of roses growing now. My wife Anne says we've got plenty of glass houses, but when do we get any money?
We're starting making a little bit of money. Con would say, well, one day we're going to get rich. And I said, well, when? He said, oh, one day. But he said, every time there was a bit of money, he would put a new glass house up. And that was it. And he's still saying that. One day we're going to get rich. But the boys just keep on building.
So I still have big plans, and there is still a shortage of roses. In Australia, they're still importing roses. Oh yeah, I think we can sell between 10 and 12 million roses.
Valentine's Day, I usually get what is leftovers.
From C&A Boone and Sons, Con Boone. If you think you see a theme already emerging here, then you're right. Many of our finalists this year have established their businesses from strong family ties. And that's always been a feature of our business people from diverse cultures, not only in this, the year of the family. Orazio Cantarella is no different. The family's hard slog transformed a tiny shop into 7 massive warehouses by sophisticated computerised distribution systems. It all began in the conservative post-war years with his desire to supply Sicilian migrant families with food and home comforts so essential to their lifestyle. Today, the fussy palates of Australia benefit from the Cantarella family's dedication to quality, delicious foods.
From the supermarket business, a lot of things have changed. When you put ethnic products like pasta and mineral water and cheeses in front of the Australian consumer, they realise they'll try it, and we've increased and improved and educated a lot of people into the real diversity, the real excitement of food. We have olive oils instead of vegetable oils. We have mineral waters instead of soft drinks. We have peeled tomatoes. We have gourmet cheeses, parmesan cheeses. Cantarella Brothers today operates in every city in Australia directly. We have our own branches and distribution, sales network. We market products of different type, mainly food products from overseas and locally produced. We supply major supermarket chains in every city, a lot of the restaurants and a lot of the smaller delicatessen type shops. That market is one that's been developed from the market that my father planned some 20 or 30 years ago. Cantarella Brothers is still family owned, it's Australian owned, and we're very proud of that. We're very proud of our Italian heritage, but we're also very proud to be an Australian company.
From the Cantarella Group, representing Orazio Cantarella, Muzio Cantarella. For years, travellers just accepted that Brisbane was not the place to go for a decent cup of coffee. But through his fast-growing franchise chain of elegant coffee club cafes, Emmanuel Drivas, the Greek-born whiz kid of the catering business, changed all that. Emmanuel has been in the catering business since the age of 16 and planned to retire at the grand old age of 35. Fortunately for Queensland's coffee drinkers, he didn't.
Well, we started the coffee shops approximately about 5 years ago was our first one, Eagle Street Pier. And the way we started that off was that one night we went for a cup of coffee and we couldn't find coffee anywhere. So we decided to, hey, this must be a good business. So we started our first one at the pier, and since then we've expanded to 8. We saw the niche in the market and we went for it. And we employ about, throughout all our stores, we employ about 140 part-time to full-time staff. Well, the service, the atmosphere, and the presentation, the 3 main elements of the coffee club. And I'd say the service would be more important than any. Well, what we want to do for our customers is we just don't want to give them a plain cup of coffee. It's the experience they get when they come into the coffee shop. Our customers have got to enjoy it. So we do that by the way we present our cup of coffee. And that all depends on the person behind the counter, which really makes a cup of coffee taste good or bad, the way it's presented. Well, our plans for the future, we've got 8 stores at the moment. Out of those 8, we've already franchised 3. We went franchise to enable us to expand a lot faster. We'll have probably about 16 by the end of March next year, which is doubling what we've got now. And by the end of next year, we hope to get to about 20 to 25. Once we reach our target of 25 is our target of Queensland, we will move interstate.
From the Coffee Club, Emmanuel Drivas. Well, have you picked a winner there yet from our 5 non-manufacturing finalists? Of course, the judges have been examining each entrant with far more depth than we can here this evening. The financial history of each is scrutinised, and then many other aspects are taken into consideration. In fact, each business contains a unique challenge. Added to the normal problems that migrants face, those of a new language, new customs and new business practices. Particularly in our second category, manufacturing, you can add new technology to that list. All but one of our manufacturing finalists depends on high-tech equipment to give their products that inside running in the race for success. And first we visit Western Australia. Our next finalist left his native Lanciano, Italy, more than half a century ago. Italy's loss was Australia's gain, as the young Tommaso d'Orsogna brought with him strong family values and a very large extended family at that. Over the years, with marvellous support from brothers, nephews and very loyal staff, he has built one of Western Australia's finest Italian food manufacturing business. Mr. Tom, as he's known, believes that excellent service and a reputation of high quality are the linchpins of his success.
We produce over 100 lines. Hams, bacon, polony, savoys, frankfurts. Big bulk of it is sold in Western Australia, but we also sell it all over Australia. And we taste in the market in Southeast Asia. We employ now about 260 to 70. We integrate the business. We own the piggery, and we do all of the processing, and we do all the distribution. We have moved to diversify our business, and we purchased Beni Gelati The family is very important in the business. We were originally 4 brothers, and we worked very, very hard. And now our sons are in the business, and they'll be taken over. Success in business, because it's, it's hard work and common sense. The annual turnover now is 35 to 40 millions, and increasing about 12% every year.
From Dorsonia Brothers, Tommaso Dorsonia. The search for the great Aussie meat pie is a perennial bone of contention. Who would have believed that a hot favourite would be a Hungarian-born pastry cook, Vilmos Miličić? Australia-wide, his familiar blue and white signs advertise his wares outside snack bars and bakeries. Yet all his products are made in Adelaide the old way, by hand, and dispatched with great haste on the very day that they're baked. Billy's mouth-watering pies are generating great interest in Japan, and he even makes a halal version for Muslim customers.
Who would put Hungarian goulash into a pie? Well, it takes a mad Hungarian maybe. We try to change what is traditionally an Aussie product into something acceptable not just to the Australian or Anglo-Saxon people, but I think acceptable to everybody. Yes, a lot of people with their pies and pasties and sausage rolls don't actually believe what we say, that we actually make them by hand, and we make millions and millions of these products by hand. I think living in Hungary in 1956 as a refugee with the bare essentials, a couple of years in refugee camps have actually, I think, held me in good stead. Come to this country, the land of opportunity. I think, you know, I've been poor and hungry. I'll never be hungry and poor again. Would have to work 100 hours a week. Money hasn't really changed me. I still work with my crew. I work alongside them. I'm a hands-on type of person. There's no substitute really for what we're doing. It's, I think, a unique way of putting a product together, but it's like Mum would do at home. It's no different, except it's on a grand scale. We actually employ 96 employees. I would say within the next 5 years, that'll go to 150. And the plant will actually double in size, and we will export.
Congratulations, Vili Miličić of Vili's Bakery. When strangers call our next finalist mate, they're not just being familiar. That's the Croatian name he was given at birth. But oddly enough, Aussies prefer to call him Michael. Well, from carpenter to property developer to the last Australian Independent Commission woolen spinner, Michael has changed the direction of his company, Pacific Textiles. Now it's a high-tech factory aggressively marketing high-quality woolen carpet and blanket yarns throughout Australia, with great success in the field of import replacement.
My father told me long time back, when everybody running, you walk. When people walking, you run. Carpet is our main product. We're doing by a customer specification. We produce product which is carpet industry using. A carpet could be anywhere in Australia or overseas. Process start from this place here when we issue worksheets to dyer. Dyer make a blend, and could be 100% wool, could be 100% synthetic, or blend the synthetic starting from this place to go to dye house. My philosophy is be very close with workers, really explaining what's going on, This factory is not only belong to me, it's belong to workers. When boss is okay with workers and the workers respect you, you got the result. New machine, what we put in start production February is only one in the Southern Hemisphere. Textile industry, if tomorrow concentrate on the produce final yarn and the export, not the raw wool, export the final yarn, it can put 100,000 people back to work. That's the future.
Michael Antolos from Pacific Textiles. Scots-born Ernie Kilpatrick and his Maltese friend and business partner, Joseph de Guara, learnt plenty from working together at a large rubber factory. They noted many missing ingredients: vision for the future, flexibility and a positive attitude, among other things. These became the foundations of Nepean Rubber Mouldings and Pacific Plastics. This service-based custom manufacturer makes anything on request, whether a huge tractor tyre, a swim fin for surfers, or a tiny O-ring for your lawnmower.
I think if you give the client exactly what they want, the quality they want, on time, and the price, yeah, that's our philosophy. Back in 1962, back in Scotland, I had an opportunity of a job with a rubber company. Didn't know much about rubber, and started with them and enjoyed it ever since. It's just something that I seem to fall into.
We do various things like boat rollers, polishing wheels, seals, flippers, macro disc, handles as wheels for lawnmowers, and all various hoses for washing machines and big and lawnmowers.
In plastics, we manufacture component parts for refrigerators, overhead projector screens, electronic components, and component parts for the lawnmower industry.
We never look back, we always look forward, and we make sure if we say to a customer, to anybody, we will do that, no matter what. It could be a Christmas day, and we promise you we'll be here on Christmas Day and we could have done the part for you.
I really think it was the dedication to it. We applied ourselves 100%, probably 150%. And that's the secret. You know, we put everything back into it. We didn't take out from it, we put everything back into it.
Congratulations to Ernie Kilpatrick of the Nepean Rubber Division. When his employer ceased chain-making operations, young Italian migrant Igino Serafini started his own family business using all the skills that he had learnt. Now, you don't wear a Serafini chain around your neck. Individual links measure up to 150 millimetres, and its computerised manufacture is an Australian first. Serafini chains service a growing market with high-quality, heavy-duty welded chains for lifting, and the export scene looks very bright indeed.
I start my own business. We make a chain, a link is hydraulic bend, one by one, and weld and put it together with all the machinery. But we still go here in the factory. We keep it for memory. After a few years, I've been making money, went overseas to buy some modern machinery. The first machine we bought, that was from Italy, $500,000. Machine come to Australia, we've been pumping China day and night to keep a pie for the machine. We got intact heat. We're the first in Australia put intact heat for heat treatment of chain. We got a machine from Scotland with 150 millimeter diameter with their own company to install that machine. To do Navy, Mondice mine, all heavy industry. Well, we export about 15% to Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore, New Zealand, America, but we be looking more for export because Australian, they're so small. The China we produce, we don't know what to do. So we got to export more and more China to the other country.
Congratulations to Gino Serafini, the last of our finalists tonight. Australia has earned a name overseas for the warm welcome it offers to visitors and migrants. In the year 2000, Sydney will open its arms to the world in a very special way when the Olympics are held here. During the many events that made up our bid for the Games, one very talented artist captured the hearts of audiences Australia-wide. She has, as you will hear, a unique voice, the essence of Australian country. Tonight, she and the young Sydney singers will be singing an Australian song, My Country, the words of which, of course, were written by Dorothea McKellar many years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Felicity Urquhart.
And flooding rains. I love her far horizons, I love her jeweled sea, her beauty and her terror, the wide brown land for me. Australia, Australia, core of my heart, my country, land of the rainbow gold. From blood and fire and famine, she pays us back threefold. And when the grey clouds gather and we can bless again the drumming of an army, the steady soaking rain. I love a sunburned country, a land of sweeping plains, of rugged mountain ranges, of droughts and flooding rains. I love her far horizons, I love her jeweled sea, her beauty and her terror, the wide brown land for hearted country, a willful, lavish land. Oh, you who have not loved her, you will not understand. The world holds many splendors, wherever I may die. I know to what brown country my homing thoughts will fly. They will fly. I love a sunburned country, a land of sweeping plains, of rugged mountain ranges, of droughts and flooding rains. I love
with Ken Lang and the band and the young Sydney singers Felicity O'Part. Shortly, a grand prize winner in each of the categories of manufacturing and non-manufacturing will be announced. And there's a beautiful crystal trophy and $5,000 to inspire them to future success. But first, to an award that sums up a business drive that seems to have led the 90s, export. And it's a vital impetus to many businesses. The only way many of our businesses can expand is outwards, finding new overseas markets for Australia's now world competitive products. This is where Australia's multicultural policy really helps. Right here, working for Australia, we have business people from all over the world with knowledge and understanding of markets, customs and languages from every country in the world. This must surely give us an advantage in dealing with foreign companies. The National has decided this year to make a special export award. The winner will receive a crystal trophy and 2 Qantas air tickets to any international destination of their choice, and we thank Qantas for supporting this exciting award. And now we're proud to welcome to our stage to make this very important presentation the Minister for Immigration and Ethnic Affairs, Senator Nick Bolkus.
Thank you very much. Mary, I'm delighted to be here as part of the 7th National Australia Bank Ethnic Business Awards, and I'm particularly pleased to present this special export award. I'd also like to convey the Prime Minister's warm regards and pass on his congratulations to all the winners. As Mary Kostakidis mentioned a few moments ago, we do have in Australia a unique human resource, a cultural diversity and linguistic diversity, a population linked with every nation in the world. Tonight's Export Award winner personifies how those links and those insights into the outside world have helped build an export success story. It's the story of how Australia's cultural diversity is good for business. The potential for our multicultural workforce to have a positive bottom line effect has been recognised by the federal government in its promotion of the concept productive diversity, now an integral part of all our industry, trade and investment strategies. We have a quantifiable competitive advantage in what our multicultural community gives us: fluency in languages of export markets and an intimate knowledge of other cultures and their community preferences. The list of companies beginning to adopt strategies to capitalise on this advantage is growing daily. We should also acknowledge that some of Australia's peak business groups are also adopting such strategies. For example, the Australian Chamber of Manufacturers, in conjunction with Austrade and major banks, runs very successful business matching functions, bringing together Australian exporters and business migrants. And just earlier today in Perth, the Australian Chamber of Commerce and Industry convened the first of a series of roundtable discussions on the networking potential of Australia's bilateral business associations. So businesses and government alike are coming to realise what we have at our fingertips. Tonight's winner of the Export Award is an outstanding case of an overseas-born entrepreneur breaking into a number of export markets and in the process providing a vital boost to local economies in regional Australia. I'm especially delighted that he entered Australia as a business migrant, and I know his example will be an inspiration to many others. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pleasure that I announce the winner of the 1994 National Australia Bank Ethnic Business Export Award, Mr. Joey Pan.
Here is a story of export excellence that began many miles from Australia. Before they left Taiwan, Joey and Cheryl Pan imported Australian beef into their home country. Migrating to Australia, they bought 2 rundown country-based abattoirs and applied for an export licence. But due to some bureaucratic mix-up, their export licence specified goat meat rather than beef. They handled this unexpected challenge with great intelligence, familiarising themselves with the new meat and seeking new markets. Today they have found buyers for nearly every part of the animal. Thanks to the pans, Australian goat meat, skins and offal now go to the Caribbean, Mexico, Fiji, South Africa and throughout Asia. This lateral thinking, matching the right product with the right overseas buyer, has won for them the 1994 National Australia Bank Ethnic Business Export Award.
Mr. Minister, ladies and gentlemen, sorry. It's a great honor for me accepting this award. First, I would like to thank all the employees for making this company so successful. I would also like to thank National Australia Bank for giving me this opportunity, and also I would like to thank my parents too. And also, I would like to say something for my friend. And finally, I would like to say, if I can help Australia economy, I'm sure you can do it too. Thank you.
Congratulations, Joey Pan, and thank you also to Immigration Minister Senator Nick Bolkus. Shortly, we'll know just who will take off the major prize in the non-manufacturing category. But first, let's remind ourselves, state by state, of each nominee. Western Australia, providing multicultural education to more than 20 ethnic groups from the Girraween Multicultural Childcare Centre, Lee Kwong Vin. South Australia, turning a sideline into a discounting network of 53 stores from Smoke Mart, Fateh Shaheen. Victoria, the nurseryman who has literally witnessed his hard work blossoming into a major force in the cut flower industry from C&A Boon, Con Boon. New South Wales, keeping the top shelves of Australia's gourmet pantries supplied with wonderful foodstuffs from Cantarella Brothers, Orazio Cantarella. Lastly, Queensland, and we visited the state's newest rendezvous, a truly cosmopolitan franchise from the coffee club Emmanuel Drivers. And the winner in our non-manufacturing category in the 1994 Ethnic Business Award from Cantarella Brothers, Orazio Cantarella. And tonight the award is to be accepted by Muzio Cantarella.
Well, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, on behalf of Orazio Cantarella, my father, I'm very pleased and honoured to accept this award, which recognises his efforts and his contribution to Australia. The business that my father started with his brother Carmelo in 1948 is proud of its ethnic origins and continues to contribute to a multicultural Australia. In fact, of the 130 people we employ, they come from over 18 different countries. We are proudly still a private Australian company, Australian owned, and our Managing Director, Les Shirato, myself, our management team and all our staff continue this vision of a national marketing and distribution company distributing food to all Australians. We'd like to thank the National Bank for their support of the ethnic community. We'd like to thank our customers, and I'd like to thank my father for instilling a passion and a pride in our cultural heritage. Thank you.
Congratulations, Muzio Cantarello. Well, with one more award still to come, let's recap the state winners in the manufacturing category. Western Australia, with a multi-million-dollar turnover, their small goods and ice creams feed lovers of fine food worldwide, from Dorsonia Brothers, Tommaso Dorsonia. South Australia, introducing us to food of another kind, we meet a Hungarian whose Aussie meat pie is simply the best, from Vili's Bakery, Vilmos Melisic. Victoria, you can walk on many of their products, but at present they are walking all over the competition with their import replacement success story. From Pacific Textiles, Michael Antolos. New South Wales, finding high-tech formulas for a wide range of innovative rubber products, from the Nepean Rubber Group of companies, Ernie Kilpatrick. And finally from Queensland, industrial chains for lifting, securing and suspending, welding Australia's finest steel into our toughest chains. From Serafini Chains, Igino Serafini. And the winner in our category of manufacturing in the 1994 Ethnic Business Awards, from Dorsonia Brothers, Tommaso Dorsonia.
I'm afraid I would have to read my speeches. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, it is my great honor to receive this Ethnic Business Award. I would like to thank the National Bank very much for their sponsorship. I have been very fortunate and blessed to work and live in this great country of ours. I wish to take this opportunity to thank all the Australian people, and in particular Western Australia, for their patronage of our products. I'm sure they will not only continue to support us in Western Australia in the future, but also from the rest of Australia. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Congratulations, Tommaso Dorsonia. To our grand prize winners, Cantarella Brothers and Dorsonia Brothers, congratulations, and may your success and prosperity continue to grow as a symbol of what can be achieved here in Australia. Thanks to Senator Nick Bolkus, Minister for Immigration and Ethnic Affairs, for his encouragement and supportive words to Australia's ethnic communities tonight. Lastly, to the National Zone, Alan Diplock, a tower of strength here on stage with me tonight, many thanks. May the awards continue to demonstrate the Nationals' commitment to Australia's evolution as a 21st century nation. as they say in sport, if you want to lift your game, test it out in a more competitive arena to push your performance up to a higher level. Australia's ethnic groups have helped the whole country develop a new understanding of world competition. History shows us that already. Australia is worlds apart from the sparsely populated and parochial land of the 1950s. No longer content to ride on the sheep's back, we've developed a culture, products and technology that reflect our newly found ties with every country in the world. In no small part, this is due to the endeavours of our entrants tonight, their families and their staff. May I wish you all continued prosperity and thank you on behalf of all Australians. And thank you for joining us. Good night.